Favorite moment. I mean, I think the obvious one is being introduced to Alan. I think he's just such an icon. I know that comes a lot later in the episode, and I know it's not super long, but I think just everything in that scene is just really fun. Um,
Mm.
I think just even beginning with Alan being voiced by Seth Rogen, you're just like, oh, like this is gonna be good. Like he's gonna be a goofy kind of character, and we kind of notice that when he confuses Urath and Earth, which I think is a really funny moment.
He's really he's like a almost like I mean I guess he is kind of a comedic relief character. Um but it's in such a like wholesome kind of way that is like really needed in a show like this. Um yeah, he's just good vibes.
I think like even at first we're seeing him beat up Mark, and we're like, no, like don't beat up Mark. But at the same time, he's having like really funny dialogue with Mark through each other's because they can read each other's thoughts. So yeah, I think he's just like such a well-balanced character. He's strong, he's funny, he's handsome, he's strong, he's an alien, he has one eyeball. He's the perfect man. I mean, he's the perfect comedic character.
He is really awesome. And he mentions the coalition of planets here, which we don't really get to uh see what that is till I think not until season two, maybe. I can't remember if it's in season one, actually.
Either.
We really see it in season two, I think.
Yeah.
And then we learn obviously that it's more like it's like this a group that is like assembled to defeat the Viltrum Empire or to defy them.
Mhm.
In this he's like, oh, he has to see who to make sure this place has a protector. Presumably for when the Viltrumites come,
Mhm.
but um he doesn't tell us all that now, obviously. Um, but yeah, that's a really fun interaction. And again, something I forgot happened so quickly, so soon into the show. Um, they introduce him pretty quickly.
Yeah, every time I rewatch it, I also think it's gonna come later in the show, but then we see him and we're like, oh, it's Alan.
Yeah,
And then Alan and Mark become besties.
they're pretty tight. I feel like Mark starts the show with William as like his best friend or whatever, but like I think William's slowly being pushed out by various characters.
Yeah, yeah. I love William's little moments though of dialogue. Especially when Amber asks Mark or asks no, when Amber asks William
William? Yeah.
if Mark and Eve are dating and he goes, I wish. I'm like, wow, he's so us.
It's a true homie. Yeah, I mean, we can just talk about all the Mark and Eve
Yeah,
and
I'm sure
Amber stuff.
that was your favorite part.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I really I couldn't remember how they kind of set up those relationships. But
Mhm.
I noticed like uh there's like a small moment where so Mark like talks to Eve in the hallway. Um, and I think that's there where she's like, or maybe it's when they're on the roof, where she's like, okay, well, let's meet up after school in front of the building. And then Amber comes up to Mark two scenes after that, and she like talks to him a little bit, and he's kind of just like, okay, well, like I gotta run.
Yeah.
Uh, and I forgot just how like again, like the show's clearly just from that, it's so clear who like the show is setting up as the real love interest.
Yeah.
Um, and then I guess, in these next few episodes that follow, like he just kind of moves to Amber, but it was hype. I felt hype for Mark. Like even though I've seen this, I've seen 2 seasons of the show. I was like, yeah, like
So
go hang out with that cool pretty girl.
yeah, and it's interesting because at the beginning you don't really think that Mark has a crush on Amber. You just think like he's a good guy sticking up for her. And then
Yeah.
and then she starts to show interest in him and he's like, "Oh,
Mhm.
wait a minute. There's another girl here." And there's another single girl here because we find out that Eve is dating Rex a little later on.
Yeah.
Earlier
Ooh, that sucks.
I know. And that's really when I started to not like Rex. I just didn't like his attitude. I didn't like how
Yeah.
he was dating Eve. And I mean, we'll talk about it, but he doesn't treat Eve very nicely.
Yeah. Rex kind of sucks at the start.
Yeah.
He's definitely a little cooler now, but at the start, he kind of sucks. But yeah, so all the Meave stuff is just starts right here, um, and it's really cool. It's really cool. I like when when he's talking to William at like in the cafeteria, and William's like he's like, well, like everyone now people are talking about it because they all saw you guys like leave school yesterday, and Mark's just like, everyone saw that? Like he's kind of like you can tell he's kind of like, oh, like if other people are validating it,
Yeah, yeah.
there's something there.
I think he's also a little nervous that like people are finding out that he's a superhero. Um,
True.
but I
Yeah.
think it's mainly just like me and Eve.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you saw them leave and then like an hour later you like turn on the news or like open Twitter and you see like this redhead and like this like Asian guy, just you could be like, I don't know if like I think they talk about in this episode where Adam Eve is like or Mark's like or I don't remember how the interaction goes, but she's like, yeah, you'd be surprised like how many people just don't register it that there's like a
Yeah.
superhero at your school.
Hmm.
Because I think you're not looking for it, you're not
No.
expecting it. And maybe, I'm always curious, like people talk about like the Superman Clark Kent, like would that actually fool anyone or not? But honestly, like maybe it could.
Like I feel like it could. Speaking from personal experience,
Mm,
as a superhero,
right.
yeah.
You think like people do you just so like with your glasses, that's kind of like your disguise?
Yeah, yeah. They can't come off.
Right. Do you even need them to see?
No,
Okay.
I have
Damn.
perfect vision because I'm a superhero.
Yeah, they all have pretty
Yeah,
perfect senses.
I feel like there's not enough um glasses representation in the superhero world. Do you think that's just because superheroes are they just have perfect vision?
Yeah, let me think. I mean, Clark Kent, obviously, and then like I guess Peter Parker is will wear glasses sometimes. Um,
Maybe everyone just wears contacts. I guess that makes more sense. Like,
now it's interesting to think of like a superhero that, doesn't have 20/20 vision, but like probably see clearly would be really helpful in like a fight. Did they just wear contacts if they need those?
yeah, maybe they just eat enough carrots in their diet.
Mm. See, I hate carrots, so
That was like the my favorite vegetable as a kid.
really?
I didn't like a lot of vegetables growing up, so I really loved the.
Yeah, I mean, who does?
Do you like ranch?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you ever just dip your carrots in ranch?
I just don't touch carrots.
Why?
Those carrots are probably my least favorite vegetable food. Like I just can't even like if they're like stewed well, like in like a beef stew, like and they're soft, like sure, there's some carrot bits that are I probably consume, but like I won't just eat like a even just like a stewed carrot. I don't know, they're just gross to me. Raw carrots would be out of the question for sure.
Like you would eat a wild carrot? What'd you say?
No, I said like I raw carrots, like not even
Oh,
cooked.
oh.
Definitely wouldn't do it. You'd have to force me. Yeah. Um,
That's why you're not a superhero, because you don't have perfect vision, because you don't like to eat carrots.
yeah, now I'm wondering if I ate carrots all my life. Maybe I wouldn't need glasses to watch a movie.
Yeah, I don't need them.
Yeah. Good for you for eating carrots. That's
Thanks.
smart.
We are we're a half and half opinionated carrot podcast.